I want to call to order the August 17th special board meeting of the Bryan City Schools Board of Education. If we could please begin with the pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ron, if you call the roll.
Emily Emo.
Here.
Cinder Keeler.
Here.
Tom Lingby.
Here.
Bryan Miller.
Here.
Glenn Newcomer.
Here.
Thank you.
At this time, I would be willing to accept a motion for the board to move into executive session for purposes of conference with the items A and C. Item A, the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of an employee, or the investigation of charges or complaints against an employee, official, licensee, or student. And item C on our agenda, conference with the board's attorney to discuss matters which are subject of pending or imminent court action.
So moved.
Thank you, Emily.
Second.
Thank you, Sandra.
Cinder.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Glenn.
Yes.
Emily.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Yes, I can do it.
Tom.
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Glenn.
Yes.
Emily.
Yes.
Cinder.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Approval of July and this is August special meeting minutes. Do we have an August meeting report for this?
No.
Yep.
Okay. So approval of the July minutes. Has everybody had the opportunity to read those? Any questions? If not, willing to accept the motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Thank you, Tom.
Second.
Thank you, Glenn.
Brian.
Yes.
Glenn.
Yes.
Emily.
Yes.
Cinder.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Public participation, I'm not aware of any at this point in time, so moving on to communications. Sandra?
Just a real quick update, yes. Today was the first day at Ford County, and of course it started with some fog delays. So, typical start of the school year. The students will attend daily from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and there will be over 1,000 students this year taking over 30 different career choices. And this year Ford County will be welcoming 6 new teachers, and I look forward to reporting more as the year goes on for Ford County. Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on, treasurer's report.
Thank you.
Rob.
Got the financial reports here for the cash reconciliation for the month ended July 31. Farmers and Merchants Bank balance was $12,095,907. Outstanding checks and adjustments $145,720. Investments at Star Ohio $3,241,087. At Morgan Stanley $20,108,946. At State Bank $4,018,595. Change funds and petty cash $4,500. Total funds available $39,323,315. General fund balance at the end of the month was $11,999,115. Permanent improvement fund balance $2,061,310. Any questions regarding those items? We'd like to have you approve change funds for the upcoming year. With one exception from this list, we're going to scratch the $400 for middle school athletics, since the middle school, junior high, and the 9 to 12 building is all in one. We're just going to have one change fund, so we're not going to need the one for middle school athletics. But we ask you to approve a $2,000 change fund for high school athletics, $250 for concessions, $200 for the cafeteria, $50 for the 6 to 12 office, $50 for the 2 to 5 office, $50 for the Washington building office, and $200 for the central preschool office. For petty cash funds, $4,000 for high school athletics and $500 for the treasurer's office. There were no then and now certificates this month. Tuition rates have been established by Ohio Department of Education as follows. In-state tuition for this year, $5,845.87. Out-of-state tuition, $9,373.16. I'd also like approval of service agreement with the hospital for SLP services at Fountain City Christian School using their IDEAB grant funds as per the exhibit. Any questions regarding those items?
No questions. Willing to accept a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Glenn, thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you, Sandra.
Glenn?
Yes.
Emily?
Yes.
Cindra?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes.
Thank you. From the addendum,
Oh,
permanent appropriations, we always process those and approve those during the month of August meeting. Permanent appropriations are asking you to approve a total of $25,893,987. Of that, general fund is $20,762,861. Special revenue funds total $2,270,689. Debt service fund total $1,844,069. Capital projects funds $859,718. And enterprise funds $126,150. Agency funds $30,500 for a total of $25,893,987. That compares to last year was $25,126,204. And finally, approval of an advance from the general fund to food service fund in the amount of $75,000. So we can continue to pay our bills out of food service and payroll that come through the summer until we start to generate some cash once school opens. Then we'll repay that back to the general fund next spring. So approval of those two items, please.
thank you, Emily.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Tom.
Emily?
Yes.
Cindra?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Thank you. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Sorry, I'm flipping through my agenda here. Next on the agenda, old business construction update.
Yes, so let me get to that really quick here. So we are still scheduled to open for students on Tuesday, September 13th, and we're very excited about that. Updates, we had a bi-weekly construction meeting last Thursday, so just going to highlight some of the areas, and then as always, if Tom, Rob, or Glenn would like to add in, you are welcome to. So our custodial crew, I cannot say enough about our custodial crew this summer, who have been diligently working in not only addressing the annual needs of keeping the buildings maintained and clean and ready for the new school year, but also the process of the move and the transition between buildings. So kudos to them for all of their hard work and dedication to the students and to the staff. And we're in really good shape with that. We are moving a crew to second shift at the 6 to 12 building so that we can kind of stay out of the way of the final construction touches, and by doing that, we were able to get a ton more accomplished as far as final cleanings, final waxings, and prepping of the academic area. So we were set for final inspections this week for the music and commons area. The athletic area, the locker rooms will be inspected sometime in the near future. We were waiting on the gym floor to cure and finalize. I believe that is now reopened, and they're working on finishing up the installation of the bleachers. The punch list, the fine touches are being put on the academic wing, and boxes are being started to move in. The kitchen equipment was set and over the weekend, and the inspectors are coming to check that out. The elevator has passed its inspection. The locker room floors are being installed. The courtyard, the rain last week did not help us because we're working on staining the courtyard, but hope to finish that this week, depending on the forecast, and then putting the furniture together. All of the entries have their windows installed and cleaned, and they're finishing the metal trim on the towers, on the third tower, the event entrance. The railings for the class stairway are being installed. We will have a time period where the construction people will come and train our maintenance crew on how to care for the equipment. It's different materials, it's newer materials, there's different ways we can be more effective at cleaning and maintaining to keep the warranties as long as possible. And gymnasium doors went in over the weekend. The road itself, I believe they're putting the final layer. I will let Tom speak to that more, but the road, although it's been touch and go sometimes, we're locked in here, it's been a very smooth process and it's looking great. And I will, again, welcome any other comments or questions that the board may have.
Tom and I have had some conversations, just because I know there's concerns in the community when they hear, oh, there's an error in this area, or there's some kind of little thing that's not right in this area. Can you talk about the punch list? Because you've talked about that
Yes.
and explained exactly what that means in the finishing process. Because when we get into the school, there's still going to be some things that need attention. So can you talk about how that punch list works? One of you, because
Yeah,
you've done a lot.
I would tell you, and you know, anyone can add in, we have been guaranteed a brand new building. And our construction manager has reassured us over and over again that if we are not satisfied or we do not feel that something is up to the quality that we expect, that they will address it. Unfortunately, because we're getting to the deadline,
Crunch time.
some of that punch list, some of that, there's a crack in the countertop, we want that replaced or repaired. There's marks on the wall
That need repaint.
that need repainted. Some of those issues will have to occur once school has started. So even at our dedication open house, you could see a few nicks or things that might need attention. And we have a list, that's why we call it a punch list. The construction managers have went through, the architects have went through. I know we individually, I've went through, Rob's went through, Tom's went through, our maintenance supervisors went through and added things to the punch list that need addressed. So we're just gonna have to be cooperative and know that those things are going to happen. For example, there is a mismatch in the way the carpet was laid in one area. They're going to reinstall that area of carpet, but they're gonna wait and do that at the first break. So some of the items aren't going to be just right, but we have been reassured and guaranteed over and over again that they will not leave us with a building we are not proud of.
Thank you.
Plus, we hold the purse strings.
Nothing
Which is
wrong
great,
with that.
which is great incentive for them to do
Exactly,
things
thank
right.
you. That final pay won't be
And
made until we're
there's-
satisfied that punch list items are
I say
resolved.
there is a piece to that where there is a
There's retainage.
retainage
Yeah,
where
there's retainage.
they don't get paid a percentage of their contract until that
So we're
is
satisfied
completed
that
and
all items
satisfied.
are
Yep.
resolved to our satisfaction. Thank
Yep.
you.
Glenn, anything you'd like to add?
No, I think you've said it all. It's amazing the progress that they continue to make, and I feel confident that we're going to meet that deadline.
Thank you, Glenn.
Good.
Thank you, everybody, for all your hard work on this project, and I know my kids are very excited about what the next 30 days are gonna bring and the opportunity that this new building is gonna bring for us, so.
And not to leave it out, so we'll start the pre-K to 5
Yes.
project has started.
I saw some gearing up over there.
The community should see construction fence going up soon, and the construction, Tom, help me out here, but the overall
Project managers.
project manager, general contractors are on site. So that work is starting, and we are working with the contractors, and so you'll see progress started there as well.
Good.
Any other questions?
None, let's, if we could move forward, no items under new business, so on to superintendent's recommendations.
Yes, thank you. So we have some annual recommendations to act on this evening. First of all, with transportation, bus stop locations as established by the transportation supervisor for 15-16. Authorization to relocate those school bus stop locations for the 16-17 school year. If we need to, we can relocate those as necessary. And then finally, payment in lieu of transportation at the rate as established by the ODE for the 16-17 school year in the event transportation by school conveyance is impractical within the meanings of ORC. So we want to, again, just establish those and give authorization to relocate as necessary.
And that was one thing, Dinah, you and I had some conversation about is location of those bus stops that are gonna be on now throughout the town
Yes.
to be in the safest place for kids and to take into consideration all the factors in locating those stops. So it's gonna be an adjustment, I think, for the community to understand that at school time, they're gonna come up against buses that are on main streets that are picking up a bunch of kids.
Yes.
That we have not had in the past. So that's gonna be a big adjustment for, you know, for community members. If they're in a hurry to get somewhere, sometimes they're gonna be at a bus stop, and it's gonna take a little bit for those kids to get on safely and seated, and the bus driver will not proceed until that happens.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Emily. Again, I know we've been talking about it for quite a while, but I think what I will do is reach out and just do some re-release of that information again, identifying those routes.
Because these stops will be on
Yep.
streets that people normally have not seen buses to cover on
Correct.
the east side in particular, but also on the west side where main thoroughfares where cars normally don't have to wait on a bus, but they will have to because we're now gonna be busing all of our kids out to the campus.
Correct.
And we are posting signs at where those
They are
stops will
posted,
be, and
they're
the
installed.
city has
The
been,
city has been very
worked with us
cooperative
through
in
that,
helping us
identifying
with
those
that.
locations.
Yes, yep, absolutely.
Thank you, Emily.
Next, we have a cooperative agreement with the First Brethren Church. This is just for emergency type situations. This is again an annual agreement. Resolution to formally recognize the district support organizations of the Bryan City School District. Again, this is a recommendation that came down last year that we annually recognize those booster organizations that we feel have a direct correlation to our mission. Wood County Juvenile Detention Education Program Agreement, again, for in the unfortunate situation that we may have a student that is placed, we want to make sure we have an agreement in place to continue their education. Next, we have an agreement with Midwest Community Health Associates for athletic trainer services. I would like to just briefly explain, and because this is new, so we found ourselves in a position of not having an athletic trainer. And in reaching out, we are very thankful to Midwest Community Health Associates because they will be providing us a trainer just at the same level of service we've been accustomed to, but also be able to provide some additional services by being able to get in to see maybe a physician or someone that in physical therapy to get additional treatment immediately, and just being there to support our community. So I want to thank them for, they are providing this service to us. There is a fee involved, however, that fee is in a partnership with the hospital. And so again, this is a great example of community partners coming together to provide a service for our students and our athletes at no cost to the school district in the end. So we are very appreciative of that and want to thank both of those organizations for their contributions to the school. Are there any questions on that? Next, we have a pre-grievance settlement agreement with the Bryan Education Association. That is, we are not legally able to provide an insurance incentive. We have been advised to immediately stop providing that, and so we reached a settlement agreement with BEA, similar to what we did with our other union a few months ago.
And that's through no fault of our own, that's a volunteer.
That is through no fault of our own, yes. Service agreement with Central Ohio Medical Review. Again, there's a new regulation coming out related to Medicaid reimbursement funds for schools, that students who are eligible for Medicaid reimbursement funds and are receiving services must have a physician referral. And so in order to get that physician referral, we're going to work with Central Ohio Medical Review, who works with our Medicaid reimbursement company, HPC, to make sure that we are compliant. And then next we have the approval of the Fly Fishing Club with Mr. Robert Lakes as a volunteer advisor for the high school, and we had a presentation a few months ago to the board, and so I'm recommending that the board approve that for this school year. Any other questions?
appreciate the length and effort Mr. Lakes went to in doing all the research to come up with the grant money and also into the work that he put into making that presentation. Any other questions from the board? If not, willing to accept a motion to approve Diana's superintendent's recommendations. Thank you, Tom.
Second.
Thank you, Emily.
Cindra,
Yes.
Tom, Bryan,
Yes.
Glenn,
Yes.
Emily.
Yes.
Under personnel recommendations, and I'll do my best to capture both the regular agenda and the addendum. First of all, we have a resolution to reemploy eligible non-teaching employees who have elected to retire and be rehired by the Board of Education. And we have Doug Jacobs. Doug is a retired bus driver who still likes to drive bus for us, so we are very appreciative of that.
Okay. You willing to accept a motion for approval of that recommendation?
I'll second.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Cindy.
Tom,
Yes.
Bryan,
Yes.
Glenn,
Yes.
Emily,
Yes.
Cindra.
Yes.
Okay, continuing on, under resignations, we have Alex Campbell, a custodian, effective July 22nd. Alex is enlisting in the military, so we wish him the best and safety and thank him for his service to his country. Carol Huffman, 1-on-2 aide, effective August 3rd. Debbie Isaac, grade 3 intervention teacher, effective July 31st. Debbie was able to secure a position in another state where she's currently residing, so we wish her the best. Jennifer Marvin, high school aide, effective August 24th. Beth Moore, Washington aide, effective July 31st. And on the addendum, we have Jennifer Deach, aide, effective August 15th. And Brooke Roofer, grade 3 intervention teacher, that just came into us late this afternoon, effective today, August 17th. I just want to make one comment about the resignations of the many aides that you see. In the reorganization of the district into progressing towards eventually 2 buildings, as we stated in the levy campaign to move forward with the buildings, that it would allow us to become more efficient. And many of these resignations are positions that will not be refilled. So you're starting to see some of that impact, and then you'll see it again a little bit more next year as well. 1-year limited teaching contract to Hannah Renolette, elementary guidance counselor, master's level, 3 years experience on the A1 salary schedule. And Stephanie Roofer, grade 3 intervention teacher, master's level, 5 years experience on the A1 salary schedule. That does leave us with the resignation we had today. We are attempting still to fill 1 teaching position, and we are working on that currently. Transfer of classified personnel, Gary Blank to second shift custodian, pre-K to 5 building, 8 hours a day. Jacob Robb to second shift custodian, 6 to 12 building, 8 hours per day. And then on the addendum, we have a recall from our cafeteria staff, reduction in force. Amanda Blank to the pre-K to 5 dish room position, 3.5 hours per day, effective September 8th for the 16-17 school year only. This is a position that is needed to fill in at Washington for this 1 remaining year while that's open. The bus drivers, back on the regular agenda, this is, we did the bus route bids, and these are the results of that. So you see listed for you the bus drivers, their hours per day for the 16-17 school year based on the route that they will be driving. Mentor teachers for the 16-17 school year, with the exception of Nikki Malanga. With today's resignation, we will not need that mentor teacher position. So Joyce Goals, Britton Bosco, Stephanie Mazur, Valerie Plout, Rhonda Samples, and Matt Cullen. Salary schedule placements effective at the beginning of the 16-17 school year. Katie Bernath to master's level, Jennifer Grant to master's level on the A1 salary schedule. On the addendum, you do see again the bidding and shifting that has taken place for the educational aides. So you see listed their position per building or physical location and their hours per day. And so again, I would like the board to take a look at that. Some of them specify at the preschool level that there are only, they work different hours on Monday when the students are not present versus the days Tuesday through Friday that the students are present. And then we have back on the regular supplemental contract to Bernie Davis for set director 1, athletic department volunteers, Evan Davies, and substitute per the list on the exhibit. Are there any questions regarding those personnel recommendations?
I believe you had a recall. Did we address that?
I did.
Sorry, there were so many of them.
I know.
Apologize.
And we appreciate the board's patience in approving those because we have our first payroll going out next week. So we want to make sure that we have as much as possible.
Therefore, I would move to
Thank you, Glenn.
accept the stated recommendations on the agenda as well as the addendum.
Thank you, Glenn.
Second.
Emily, thank you.
Brian,
Yes.
Glenn,
Yes.
Emily, Cindra,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
thank you.
We have a recommendation for substitute teacher for Ann Newcomer.
Also recommend.
Thank you, Sandra. Second. Thank you, Tom.
Glenn,
Abstain.
Emily,
Yes.
Cindra,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
And a recommendation for substitute teacher Claudia Miller.
So moved.
Tom, was that you?
Emily.
I had Emily.
Okay, thank you. Emily,
Yes.
Cindra,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Brian,
Abstain.
Glenn,
Yes.
Under points of information, I would like to, again, just remind the community and the board that we are going to host the dedication and open house on Sunday, September 11th. We'll do a small dedication ceremony in the new building in the Commons area. We'll have signs posted so people know the entrances to come in. And then we'll keep the building open for self-guided tours throughout the building from 3 to 5 p.m. on that date. I'd also like to remind people of the upcoming auction on September 17th that will be held at the Lincoln Elementary building site. And our next Board of Education meeting will be held Monday, September 19th. We're going to invite all of our new employees so that we can have a small reception for them. And because of that, we're going to move the meeting location to the new 6 to 12 building commons area. So can you keep that in mind for Monday, September 19th?
Call me and I'll call you.
We have Capital Conference dates, November 13th to the 16th. We have LPDC Master Teacher to be announced, and Business Advisory Council will be held on September 27th at 7 a.m. We did excuse our administrators. They are spending a lot of extra hours in the final prep, in the moving, so they were very appreciative of that. Are there any other questions or discussions?
Did you say anything about the auction?
You did?
I'm sorry, I just missed it, I'm sorry.
Well,
That's okay.
And how early is it starting?
It's 9:30 a.m.
9:30.
9:30 a.m.
Thank you.
Saturday, September 17th. Yes.
With no other items before the board, I do want to make one quick comment if I could. I want to thank Rob and Diana for your service to the board, for the wonderful things you do for our community, the wonderful things you do for our district. We wouldn't be where we're at as a district and as successful as we've been without your service, and I greatly appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much.
thank you.
That being said, no other items before the board. I'm willing to accept a motion for adjournment.
Also moved.
Thank you, Sandra.
No, second.
Thank you, Tom.
Cindra,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Glenn,
Yes.
Emily,
Yes.
thank you.